I'm Mark Unger, producer of Roundtable. Because we find this presentation so special, we really would like for you to see this. Please watch.
Welcome to Single Shot Show at Manhattan Neighborhood Network's Roundtable. Last week we was talking to Fred Watkins about his beautiful work over several presidencies, starting from Ronald Reagan, and he mentioned that there will be an exhibition soon in the next gallery, our good friends from the last year's season.
Absolutely.
So we asked Lisa DuBois if she would give us a little of the tour of this exhibition and tell us a little bit more about what is going on. So, hello, Lisa. Thank you very much for inviting us again to this beautiful gallery and to this great exhibition.
Well,
but just remind our viewers about what X Gallery is, because it itself
absolutely
was mentioning.
Well, X Gallery, first of all, is named from Malcolm X, and we're on Malcolm X Boulevard. And this beautiful space has been donated to me to curate for emerging artists, photographers, established and emerging. So this month is Black History Month, and we have a very special exhibition in store. We have Fred Watkins, who is a Washington, D.C. photographer. He has been photographing for 30 years from, like Alex said, every president. From 30 years ago, so you can count and figure that out. And so he traveled with Mandela. After Mandela was released from prison, he went to Robben Island, so we have like a little selection on Mandela. And I have a lot of respect for Fred because he, you know, as an African American working in Washington, there's a little bit of a challenge. So, you know, I felt very lucky to get him to come to the show. And yeah, we also have something that he shot every Medal of Freedom that Obama gave out, so we have that, and we also have other photographers as well.
And that's a fascinating collection, especially the Medal of Freedoms. That's not too many people can have
Exactly.
This collection.
And also, we have a lot of entertainers, so it's when you come into the gallery, it's like having a education in Black history, a lot of very prominent dignitaries, poets, fighters, Muhammad Ali, Michael Jackson. So these are people who have passed, and we have so much respect for these people. We have honored them by putting these beautiful photographs up of them. People that we feel are important to the history of Black America. That's what we've chosen. So we do have entertainers, but we also have politicians and poets.
Right here.
Exactly. Listen.
Absolutely. So how this exhibition came to be? What was the general?
Well, the way it actually came about was a friend of mine named Tyrone, who's actually in this exhibition as well. He brought Fred here, and I was so amazed. He used to work also for Jet magazine, which is one of the very first Black magazines. And so he did a lot of the covers, and he has all the originals. And I was just really taken by how much perseverance he's had, you know, over these years to just continue and continue in spite of like any adversities or any challenges that may come up. So that carries a lot of weight, you know, for me in terms of your career and progress.
So what was the challenge of putting it together? Well, besides
well, the challenge of putting it together was to choose key moments, you know, from his career and try to include everybody. You know, if we had even more space, we could have just continued to put more and more important people. And everyone on this other wall has passed, so it's really a history lesson.
We'll definitely get to the other wall at some point, but let's talk a little bit more about Fred's works. Would you mind to Share with us.
Well, this particular image right here is when Clinton went to South Africa right before his release. And so they were in there. You can see they're in actually his jail cell.
That's the iconic image of Nelson Mandela being in the cell where he spent such a long time.
Exactly, exactly. And then this is Jackie O, and Winnie and Nelson on either side of her, helping her. So that's like sort of a special moment in history.
One of America's favorite boxers.
One of America's favorite boxers. Got Che Guevara tattooed on his stomach, and he's a very controversial figure. So, and he's earned his place in history.
Well, they're all complicated individuals, and indeed he had a fascinating story of his life.
This is Ashford Simpson, they were a very, very popular group in the 80s, and so they, married, and they were performing together all the time. He has passed, she's still here, but they have also earned their right in history as entertainers in black. Lenny Kravitz, Beyonce, Diana Ross.
Indeed, we have American who is who right on this wall.
We have Mandela at Martin Luther King's funeral as well.
Oh, I didn't know that actually happened.
This is Miles Davis, an iconic figure in music with Ashford and Simpson. So that was like on his birthday. Of course, Elizabeth Taylor and Michael Jackson together. We have B.B. King, Ray Charles.
I have a couple of pieces related to Obama's presidency. One of them is Presidential Medal of Freedom awards given by Obama to various individuals, and it's truly illustrious collection of people who made America a better place.
Exactly.
Yes, so let's see who we have here. Well,
when you look on this poster, it is a cross-section of many different types of lives that have affected us in different ways. I mean, you have George Bush, who just passed away, and and we have Clinton, we have even Bob Dylan, who is a poet, and we have Robert De Niro, Stevie Wonder, and John Lewis, who is a great civil rights leader. We have Oprah as well. So having a poster like this is really special because you're seeing a part of history right there. The Presidential Medal of Freedom Awards, which I just love this. You even have Bill Gates here.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have Bill Clinton as well.
Exactly.
One president giving the medal to another one.
To another president.
Yes, this is beautiful. So
John Glenn.
So this poster actually will be available for public to get a copy of.
It will be.
This is beautiful. And another separate but nevertheless very important one, Obama actually being inaugurated as a president.
Exactly.
This is a beautiful work. Do you know by any chance if it's the first or second one?
I believe that was the first inauguration.
One. Yes,
exactly.
So it's truly historical moment on so many levels. Oh, and we have beautiful lady right there. Well, should be looking the other way.
Michelle is so popular right now. Like everyone says, if she was to run for president, she would absolutely win. She is the most popular woman in America.
The remarkable individual.
We have a poster as well that is going to be used by the Democratic Party. That poster will be available. It's a picture. It's that picture right there, and we have it right there. So anybody who wants to buy one of those can do that as well.
That's indeed a beautiful one. When we was about to go to the next wall, something remarkable happened. One of the artists who will be in this exhibition walked in with a beautiful work, and we just wanted to have a word from him.
Exactly. So I was so happy when I called him. I just called him. This is a latecomer into the gallery, but it's Malcolm X, and the gallery is named after Malcolm X. And this is such a beautiful photograph, and this is Adger. And what year did you take this photo?
1963.
Oh my God, 1963. Wow.
Well, it's been a while.
Yeah, a little while.
Yeah, a minute, as we would say. And
it was right here on this Malcolm X Blvd.
Isn't that amazing? Oh. So he came back home.
He came back home.
He's coming back home.
So I guess it's the most significant, specifically for X-Gallery collection, to have this particular individual
Especially for
in
this
this particular area.
exhibition.
It's not something that's possible to do a lot. Yeah.
Plus, Ashford has his own book of his work over 50-year span, and the name of it is Personal Vision.
Personal Vision.
Personal Vision, and the book is
Published by Glitterati Incorporated.
but what the book is about.
It's about my photography over 50 years. Landscapes, abstract. I worked in the movie business for 30 years, so a lot of pictures of movie personalities and different things like that. And a lot of personal work, documentary.
This is beautiful. So the book is already released, or
Oh, yeah.
be yet? Oh,
And
perfect.
can you imagine what it must have been like on the streets at this particular day?
Very hot.
In many ways.
It looks like a summer day in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this indeed is a beautiful picture.
Thank you.
So anyway, this is going to be gracing the walls for this beautiful exhibition. So please make sure you get down here and see this. It's very special.
A couple of other artists who are present in this show who happened to drop by the gallery today, and Lisa probably.
Well, we have
introduced June.
We have June here. And June brought in this wonderful picture of James Baldwin. And so he makes an excellent addition to this wall, which is a tribute to these great African-American heroes that we have. What was it like on that day to shoot him?
It was a good day. And in fact, Ashford brought me with him.
Oh.
And it was a tribute to the dedication of the new Schomburg on 135th Street. And Sidney Poitier was there, Ozzy, and Ruby were there, and James.
It must have been really special.
It was. I was able to capture that of him on stage, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, he's very accommodating,
Uh-huh.
soft-spoken, you know.
To be such an intellectual.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Right.
And also the occasion.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And Lena is such a great, beautiful singer, actress.
Well, I've been photographing 40 plus years. And I'm primarily a people photographer. And I just love people also, special. And I prefer photographs when the subject is not aware. Because as I see that moment, once they become aware of the camera, it changes.
It changes everything, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah. So this was actually at again, tribute to Count Basie. And it was a concert at Carnegie Hall. And she performed, and many greats were there. Quincy Jones was there, as I can recall.
And also you were a member of Kamonge, right?
Yes, Kamonge Inc. It's a consortium of New York-based black photographers. And we've been in existence 50 plus years.
Wow.
Adger is also a member. And it's interesting group of photographers. They have different talents and different genres, and we exchange information. And, it's a good sister brotherhood.
Beautiful.
And as I understand, you also do some work from Blvd, right?
Yes, I was their first black female photographer hired in the New York City Police Department. And that was maybe 86, 88, I'm not sure. Yeah. But I did not have to deal with crime scene. But all of the crime scene photos came through my department, which was where we developed films, etc. And one of my first nights on the job, because I worked 12 midnight to 8 in the morning. And so the guy that does the printing was printing, so I went in, picked up a photo, and I looked. And then, oh my God, it was a photograph of a crime scene. And And it was two babies, and that the last thing in their lives was someone hurting them.
Yeah.
I never looked at those photos again.
Thank God.
Ever.
Thank God.
Crime scene is bad. But I did what they call Rip and Grin, and that's when they get their awards. No. And community activities, parades, 4th of July, anybody comes to town, you know. Interesting time.
Well, thank you for being in this exhibition, because it's definitely it.
Good, and thank you, Lisa, for inviting me.
This is John Brathwaite, and he's been in the gallery before. We've had some of his images before, so he brought in this Muhammad Ali. You want to tell us a little bit about the day you shot that?
Yeah, it was on 125th Street, near the Apollo, but away from it. And back in the 70s, I can't give you the exact date, but everybody likes to be around the champ. And there was a chance to take a photograph of him, and I did so. And I kind of like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
It's definitely an interesting angle and interesting expression.
Muhammad
Yes.
Ali is definitely a hero.
Everybody
Somebody
loves the champ.
I love him. He's really a champion for me.
Yeah. Great personality, great person. Yeah.
I know that Houston seen him in the suit, but it definitely compliments him.
Yes.
It's a remarkable work.
Thank you.
Juanita. Right, Juanita.
Hi, how are you? Tell us a little bit about what you presented in this exhibition.
Sorry.
No problem. It's not emotional.
Of course. I don't have all the dates, but most of these were photographed, I believe, in the 80s. You have the dates? Yeah, mostly in the 80s, 87, 88.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what it was like in the 80s, shooting all these different celebrities, getting a chance to meet them?
Well, I might start, which I mentioned to Alex. I got my first camera at the age of 11, and it was a little brownie Hawkeye. So I'm really dating myself, I know. I didn't ask for the camera. I think it was one of those package deals back then where my family had moved from Bed-Stuy to Englewood, New Jersey. I was about 10 years old, and I guess I thought it'd be a nice Christmas gift. But it just opened up the world to me. I mean, from the minute I got that little brownie Hawkeye in my hand, it was a little boxy camera. I don't know if you're familiar, and it has a little strap, and you walk around and hold it like this, and you look down to shoot, had a little flash, and I would just take it everywhere with me. And I would start documenting family events. And it was just something there was something about preserving the moment. So for me, my passion for photography really began at that age. And my focus was always about, like Jimmy, about the people, but it was about capturing that specific moment in time to preserve it. So for me, I tend to be a nostalgic kind of person, like to reminisce. So after that moment is gone, it's gone. So for me, photography, capturing that moment, you preserve it forever. And getting the pictures back and then seeing and the challenge then became trying to capture what in my mind's eye that I was seeing, and then hopefully capturing that so that I might be able to share what it is, what my vision was. And coming to these pictures,
what's captured of those?
Over the years, I covered African American, specifically African American arts and entertainment, special events. So no hard news for the most part. It really was, as Lisa mentioned, the world, it was the who's who of Black America. And these are just a few of the celebrities over the years. And I dreamed about this since the 80s. So we're talking 20, 30 years. Last year, on April 3rd, 2017, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I went through chemo, 16 rounds of it, went through another 20-something rounds of radiation. I am happy to say right now I am 1 year, 7 months cancer-free.
Hallelujah.
Yay!
Wonderful, wonderful. And the reason I wanted to get that out there is so that anyone who might be listening to this, any woman or any person, if you have dreams, if there's something you want to do, if for any reason somebody would stand in any obstacle, I decided I'm not going to let cancer deter my dream. As a matter of fact, what that diagnosis did for me, it made me realize I cannot afford to procrastinate any longer.
Yeah.
Aaron, right?
Yes, Tyrone. Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you. And as I understand, you have 4 works in this exposition, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
We have
Tell us.
beautiful Eartha Kitt here, we have Nancy Wilson, and over here we have Winnie Mandela, and we have the beautiful Maya Angelou. And these are Tyrone's images. I'm so happy to have them in the gallery. So if you want to tell us a little bit about your experience photographing these beautiful pictures.
Oh, looking, where am I looking?
Anywhere you want.
Anyway, my experience, I began a Life magazine in 1975. I started, well actually prior I was a photographer's assistant for a few years. And I began a Life magazine as a photo technician. So that's where I learned to process film, develop film, do enlargements. While I was there, I shot for the newsletter, and I began freelancing for a magazine called Jet Magazine. Have you ever heard of Jet Magazine?
of course.
Johnson Publisher, Ebony Jet. So between the whole time between work as a technician, I was always shooting photography, portraits, families, events, weddings, all kind of stuff. Then I opened up a studio in my house. So I began doing a lot of portraits at home. But I began freelancing for Johnson Publishing, I think it was 1996, for Jet Magazine. I did that for 6 years. In the year of 2000, they took me on full-time as a photographer. But these particular photographs here, Eartha Kitt, she's 80 years old in this picture. Look at these legs.
Yes.
80, right? And this is Nancy Wilson at 70. And both of these photographs are taken at Carnegie Hall, which is interesting. Now, this particular photograph is like, you're supposed to have dates and times. This was an event I went to for, embarrassing, what's her name? I can't think, Miriam Makeba. She just happened to be at the event. So it wasn't, I wasn't on assignment at all. And she just decided I just captured that photograph. And this photograph, she was, Maya Angelou was being honored at City College. Are you familiar with Elizabeth Catlett, the artist?
Yes.
This is designed by her.
Oh, this
was
is a
given to her
beautiful
at that
piece
particular
indeed.
time.
Yes.
You know, and I went to her home to photograph her for that.
Wonderful. I mean, these images really kind of round out the exhibition, especially with Maya Angelou and these beautiful pictures. So we're really proud to have you in the gallery. Thank you.
I'm happy to be involved in this. You know, this is Black History Month. This is great.
Especially Black History Month, we needed that.
Yeah.
Well, what struck me in those 4 works that they are very humane. They're actually showing a human being rather than a celebrity, and that's something that you rarely see in this kind of pictures.
Oh, thank you.
This is really very intimate, very personal approach to portraiture. Lisa said before that the exhibition would be incomplete without another artist, but I beg a different. There are 2 works that definitely need to be mentioned and discussed before we would have a complete understanding of what this exhibition is about, and those are incidentally her works.
So yeah, I chose to put Michael Jackson and Bob Marley. When I started in photography, I basically started because I wanted to go to concerts. So you're looking at, you know, what I was doing was having fun. And Michael Jackson, this was, I mean, not Michael Jackson, Bob Marley, that was his last concert in New York City. So that was even more special.
It is significant.
And he was one of my favorite artists because, I mean, I love reggae. So he was actually sitting backstage, and I was so paralyzed so that I did take a few pictures backstage, but you know, I was just mesmerized by him because I love the music so much. But this was his last concert. This one of Michael Jackson, I took, it was around a little event or a press conference that they had when he was doing the Pepsi-Cola commercial. And I think it was like 1980 something, but Michael was very, is will always be a controversial figure. And this was at a time that I think was one of the best times of his life. So that's why I used this one.
Well, talking about controversial or rather multifaceted, it's always really remarkable to see two different takes on the same person in one exhibition. And we already seen Michael performing in completely different look, more of his panache kind of view. And this one is the actual person, actual Michael.
Right.
Close-ups are doing this.
And he's got a certain look on his face, like he's thinking or whatever.
Indeed, it's very philosophical in a way.
Exactly.
Absolutely,
and
yes.
at that time of his life, I'm sure he was doing a lot of intense thinking about his life and what was happening to him.
Wow.
So he's the king of pop, and he deserves to be in the exhibition. He's a big part of African American black entertainment history, for sure.
Absolutely.
Probably way up there, like number one, number two, you know.
Well, he's one of the first ones in the whole world culture of any sort. Indeed, he's one of the biggest figures of the 20th century, no matter how we spin it.
So that's why he deserves 2 pictures in the exhibition.
And very different ones. You need to know everything about him. Well, Lisa, it's really indeed beautiful collection, and as I understand, you played the main role in actually putting it all together.
I loved curating it, you know, especially for this particular time of the year when we celebrate Black history, and I felt that the gallery needed to honor some of these great Black heroes and people that and especially everyone on this wall. I just want to emphasize that everyone on this wall has passed. Indeed. So this is a very special wall. It's like a wall, a tribute wall in itself, and it's a very educational experience just to come to the gallery during this time, because we have so many figures here that are so important. And you bring some kids and they're going to learn so much.
Exactly. After we heard the stories behind the pictures, it actually became a more educational experience, actually learning how this work came to be, because sometimes the story was just as much as the actual picture.
And also, these photographs bring back memories to people. I was putting up the show yesterday and somebody ran in here and he's like, I was there when Diana Ross, I was there, you know, and he started going around and telling me everything. So it was I think people are going to like it.
This is beautiful. No, I'm pretty sure they would, so. But
well,
looking forward to seeing the opening next week.
Thank you
very
for
much,
coming.
Lisa.
I hope you found that worth watching as much as I did. I'm Mark Unger for Roundtable. Thanks for watching.